I am Tanya Lynn, and I am so thrilled and feel so honored to have Sai Maa with us today. And I just want to tell you a little bit about her before we get started on this conversation about how we can live in the new era. So Sai Maa is a world-renowned spiritual master, healer, and humanitarian. Preparing for what Sai Maa calls the coming age of global enlightenment, Sai Maa's mission is to eliminate pain and suffering and elevate the consciousness of humanity. With a unique fusion of Eastern spiritual wisdom, Western therapeutic knowledge, and energetic mastery, Sai Maa guides people in awakening and living from the highest potential inherent within us. Rather than working to cultivate followers, Sai Maa invites us into our own mastery to live a life without limitations, with boundless joy and happiness for ourselves and our families. She works throughout the world, educating thousands on a wide range of topics through transformative programs, writings, recordings, online teachings, and new technologies for achieving transformation, growth, success, and fulfillment. And in 2007, Sai Maa was honored with the prestigious title of Jagad Guru, the highest title in the Vedic tradition in India, becoming the first woman to receive this honor in the 2,700 years of the Vishnuswami lineage. So welcome, Sai Maa. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited to have this conversation with you.
Awesome.
And unfortunately, we are unable to turn off those chimes, everyone, so just bear with us. It's, sometimes technology doesn't work in our favor. So, Sai Maa, tell us, I would love to start with your path and how did you become the highest title in the Vedic tradition of India? That is just mind-blowing, and I would love for you to just share with us and give us some context of your journey and how you were able to get there.
I have no idea. I have no idea. First, I have to tell you, I even refuse the title because these are titles that great gurus receive when they're 90 years old. So I couldn't accept that. I said, no. So it's a government who deals with this, so I don't know. I really don't know how it happened. But one thing for sure is this is a world of men. The world of the Sadhu society, the world of gurus in India, it's a world of men. Very few women. I know 5 divine mothers. And it's the love. All these great gurus have been touched by the love. You see, in the lineage of India, many worship Mother Divine. So they all worship Mother Divine in the form of a statue, what we call a murti, because it's alive. At the point there is a ritual done to it and the statue become alive. So when you pray and you pray to Mother Divine, and they've done this for years. I know gurus who are 300 years old, 304, 214, 144, they all just love Ma because they finally can feel that love in a physical form. That's what happens. And I think after 5 years knowing me, 6 years, 10 years, that's how the title arrived. Acknowledging Mother Divine. And we have moved now in the era of the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, and somehow the great masters are acknowledging that feminine energy and feeling the love, being loved, feel accepted, no matter what. So that's what I think created this whole situation.
And that's beautiful that we're starting to see that. I mean, I feel it. I think many of us, everyone on this call is feeling it, that rise of the divine feminine and acknowledgement of the divine mother, and how, for me, I think it has to do with taking care of our earth, the great mother is our earth.
You see, the earth is a feminine energy. It's a feminine entity, if you prefer. The earth is being enlightened right now. The earth is ascending in her consciousness from third dimension to fifth dimension. Naturally, if the earth is shifting consciousness, she was dormant for centuries on purpose, and now she's being awakened. Naturally, this energy will be on the planet as being an awakened energy or awakened humanity. The beauty is she's a feminine energy. Being a feminine energy, there will be on the planet more feminine energy than before. And we all can see, my dear love, we all can see where the patriarchal energy have taken us. We all can see. And now, no woman on the planet would love to see her son, her brother, her father, her husband, her lover, her everything be killed in a war. So we have entered a shift of consciousness in which we are going to experience life on planet Earth very differently. The children who are taking birth, the children who were born 10 years ago, they have a different consciousness. So we are responsible. We must take ownership of our own evolution. I'm just finishing a book right now called Conscious Evolution. And I say to everybody, it's time for us all to take ownership of our own evolution, meaning evolve consciously. Evolve consciously in the sense that none of us were created to be sick, to age, or to die. We came here the first time on this planet created by the Elohims as a sphere of energy. We came here from other planes. We are not from this planet. We came here with our light bodies the first time. And yes, there have been many golden ages. And that's where we are headed right now. Another golden age. And this time, a golden age is the new civilization, meaning a civilization of ascension, a civilization of enlightened beings. Children are being born right now enlightened. I remember, my son is 30 years old, but I remember when he was 5 years old, he came into the meditation hall. I was giving a workshop, and he said, why? And he opened the door, and I put my finger on my mouth. And then when I went, there was a break, I went and see him. I said, did you need me? He said, why do they have to sit in silence like this? I said, they're meditating. For what? To know that they are God. And he said, but just tell them they are God. I am God, you are God, tell them they are God. So this is where we are headed. It's a new civilization. It's a new world. It's a new earth. We have entered a new era, the era of oneness consciousness, the era of the knowledge of the flower of life from centuries ago, the oneness consciousness. All the different galaxies, the different universes are completely with us right now to uplift our thoughts, our feelings, our actions. I'm so sorry. I just went into my consciousness and just put all these words out. I'm sure you have questions. I'm so sorry.
No, you can keep talking, but but I will ask. I think sometimes when we think about taking ownership, you're saying, and that seems to be like the number one thing that we can do right now with this coming age of global enlightenment is really take ownership. And what, if people are wanting to know, okay, well, what does that look like? What does that look like in action? What's the tangible thing that I can do? What would you say for people of what does that look like to take ownership?
All right, beautiful, beautiful. So let's say I have a pattern, a pattern of saying that I'm unworthy, okay? I'm unworthy, or nobody loves me, or I feel abandoned. And it's a pattern, it keeps repeating. I invite you who feel like this or think like this, who have these emotions, that you take a breath. You just take a breath, what we call a conscious breather. Take a breath. Another breath. And another breath. And this breath of God, this breath of the divine, this breath of life will transmute that thought of lower frequency. There are only two energies on planet Earth. One is love, one is fear. The fear-based energy will contract you. So when you think I'm unworthy, it contracts you. The love-based energy will expand you. So when you say I'm unworthy, or nobody loves me, or I feel abandoned, all the thing that, has been in humanity for centuries, the known world, this breath of life will transform this energy. And I do say to all of you, stop putting your faith in doubt. Now put your faith in faith. Imagine that you are my light, or you are my soul, or you are my higher self, or you are my Atma. My supreme self. You are my divinity, my God. For centuries I've never looked at you. And now I start to look at you and call on you. How fantastic you will be, and wishing to serve me. This is what's happening on the planet. Dare to ask, and it will happen.
I love that. I've had that experience of having to ask. And then for me it's about receiving. So I ask and then I open myself up to receive. So I think that's beautiful what you just shared. And for myself, you were just talking about this new wave, this new generation of children coming into the world. And I just gave birth 6 weeks ago to a little baby girl. And I think one of the things is that you're saying is that these new children are enlightened and they are bringing in a new energy. And so what would you say to mothers like me or fathers who are I have a lot of friends who are having babies right now. What can we do for this next generation of children?
The first ingredient is love. Love more than food, if I can say so. Extremely important. Now, love doesn't mean we say yes to everything. You will have to have a clear discipline with no's in it. No children must hear only yes from parents, because you are the main gurus of your child. Not main, excuse me. You are the first guru of your child. You as the guru, you have to educate your child. When do we do this? When we don't do this? And when we say no, we have to keep our no's. And when we say yes, let's say a child is 3 years old, you wish to take the child somewhere, and you say, I'll take you there. You keep your word. The child must be able to trust you. Trust is a big thing. The love, then trust. With that trust, and make sure the children, and 2 children came from this body. So I've done this, and today I'm completely free. And they are not in drugs, they are not in alcohol, not in cigarettes, or none of this. Why? I have had to be firm all the time until it was part of the everyday life. Oh, no, I cannot go there because today it's Thursday. I cannot play or be with my friends. On Saturday, yes. Much discipline. Without discipline, you cannot be a disciple of life. It's impossible. And I say that to adults as well. And really educate them with love. Speak with love. Do not beat your children, no matter how frustrated. I do a program, my dear love, called Journey Profound Healing. It's a profound healing because I was born with the power to be able to see from my inner eye, my first eye, or you call third eye, hear, smell, taste, and see the vision of what they've gone through as a fetus in the womb of their mother. And I work and I heal people all the way to the core, where at the moment of conception and what information they've gone through. And I have seen a lot of parents beat their children. This is unacceptable. These children are souls. These children are light. These children are your higher self. These children are God in human form. It's not the only God that we have in church, on a cross, no. They are important and they are precious for what's happening. Nevertheless, I say, they need discipline. They need to hear, no, not this today. Today, no, you do not touch this. And really insist. We have to know that we cannot be soft parents. And then sometimes we wear the cap of as a mother or father, and sometimes the cap of a mom and a dad. And discipline is number one in educating a child. With love, really with love. And many children will be saying to you, oh, I was playing with my friends, and you don't see anybody. They have their friends. There are many, many guides on the planet right now. Many, many guides coming, serving many children. So welcome them and tell them, oh, share with me. The other thing that will be happening, children will say, I want to die. Do not dramatize this. Oh, really? You want to die? Tell me about this. What will happen when you die? Where do you go? What happens? Let them demystify that death situation, because the environment will be bringing all these energies, and it's beautiful how sensitive they are, and they will speak of death. Do not panic.
That's really interesting, because here, there was this conversation a week ago that I had about in India, death is everywhere. And you see, I went to India and on the Ghats, on the river of the Gandhi, and how, you see the bodies of the dead. And here we have that panic. We have that fear around death, that unknown. And in the Indian culture, it's much more part of life. And so I think that's really interesting that you're saying, to not panic around children talking about death, and to have them understand that is part of life.
Absolutely.
So, thank you. Yeah.
Part of the experience of life. Life doesn't die, but part of the experience, yes. I remember I was about 5 years old, or maybe 4. Someone died in the village. And my parents took us and take our hands to touch the body, which was cold, and touch our body or their body, to show us the difference. This is fantastic.
Yeah, because then we have, we actually are able to see death in a different light of this is all part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself as right now, as you're talking about ascension and this new era of enlightenment, I found for myself this little mini death of, perhaps I would say, is my ego, or these parts of myself that were old, and I'm shedding these old parts of myself, and feeling like I'm being reborn, understanding the truth. And so do you think that this is part of what's going on? Is that,
absolutely
are people experiencing this?
You're absolutely correct, yes. There's death is happening every day right now, because we are not the same. Ourselves are not the same. The other topic where I would like to speak of is that stop believing that you're going to be sick like your mother or grandmother. For me, I do not function with genetic disease. For me, everything is about information. So if a little girl, grandmother say, oh, be careful when you grow up. Your mother has cancer. My other daughter has cancer. Your auntie had cancer. This is an information that will create and manifest this fear into the cancer. Genetic disease does not exist. The beauty also nowadays, we can transform our DNA through knowledge, of course, knowledge, and do the work of light. Bring light in the brain, for instance. I love brain. I work with brain, and this is one of my specialty. Transform the brain. The brain is like a little sponge when we are young children and absorb all information.
Yes.
We are capable today, through our evolution, individual evolution, I can even say, where we transform the information that has gone in our DNA. Vibration, frequencies. It's amazing what's happening right now. Amazing. The amount of energy coming from different galaxies, different universes, bathing us into a higher frequency. And yes, some of you may say, but it's full of chaos right now. Out of this chaos, there's order. One day, we will not need a car. We will not need a plane. We will be in our light body and move around the planet if we need. And then from here, go to another planet. Our brain will be so sensitive until we get to that place. I have had visions of the human body as translucent as, what is it called? Fish, jellyfish maybe? I've had vision of this. Your baby, you educate your baby into love and light and consciousness, your baby will have this language as a master. They are being born now with knowledge which is really available right there for them. Great masters are taking birth. And many are coming from the Pleiades right now. And for their first time on the planet, this is where they need discipline, because it's their first time and they don't know how to live everyday life. The pregnancies can be very difficult because it's higher consciousness than the parents. Not the parents, the woman who carries the child. So it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy to have such a high frequency in the body. Nevertheless, you transform yourself, you surrender to that light, to that consciousness, to that self, that supreme energy inside. It's fantastic. And I'm so passionate about what's happening on the planet right now. So passionate.
Can you tell us a little bit more for those who don't know what that means of, these children coming from the Pleiades? Just give a little bit of context for that.
Yes. So none of us come from planet Earth because there was nothing on planet Earth when it was created by the Elohims. Then the Elohim said, on the different universes, who would like to go to planet Earth? We came here in our light body. The Pleiadians, our great brothers, sisterhood, brotherhood, full of life and full of light. When the Elohims put this information out, we come, like I lived on Venus and I come here. Part of me is still there. More than that, the Pleiades, you will see they are like very delicate children, very innocent, very pure. Of course, when their mental body will start to be built up, because children don't have subtle bodies when they are born. That's why they are so sensitive. And little by little, depending the environment, their subtle bodies start to build with the information of the environment. But coming from the Pleiades, it means that they come from a consciousness of mastery. They come here as a master. They know who they are. They will tell you who they are. They are God. That they can say that. Or they are light. Or they are pure consciousness. And it's really phenomenal to spend time with them. I will give you an example. There's a little girl who I think is 5 years old. She goes to school after she met me at Darshan. She goes to school and she said, you all have to come to Darshan to receive Sai Maa's light. She's real. There's plenty of light around her. You see, she's 5 years old. And then she said to her grandmother, darshan is not long enough. It has to be longer than that. I want to stay in front of Sai Maa longer. I mean, it's so fabulous.
Wow.
Then I have another Japanese child whose mother is our student, and he sits by me and gives the same discourse that I give, and completely free in that. So the Pleiades, and not only from Pleiades, from Vegas, from many places, energy is coming, and these energies are being born. Now we call them soul because they're on planet Earth. On other planets, we don't call them soul.
And why is that?
Because we do not have the physical form. What is a soul? And I'm speaking only of my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
Form, imagine a sun called self or God or source. A ray of that sun will become a human form. Will be this is called a soul. On the other planes, we don't function as soul because we are in our light body fully.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in the eternality of now all the time.
Wow.
Here there's a sense of separation. You look at our brain has two hemispheres, so we live in duality, in dual.
Mm-hmm.
And in other plane, we don't. We don't have two hemisphere brain. We are pure intelligence.
And so us getting to this oneness on the planet is really getting connected with the soul as you're
yes.
To.
Within one. The moment one is awake and one starts to see things very differently. Then the moment one is enlightened, this enlightened being is going to say, I have the consciousness, and the tree has a consciousness, the dolphin has a consciousness, the atom of the water is me.
Mm-hmm.
This man, I am that man is me. I am that I am all that is. There's no separation. That's why enlightened being will not judge someone, because it is the same. That's the same. The moment, you see, there's only one God, and it's the same in everybody as essence. Developed, yes. Different ways. Some are completely ignorant even about it. But the one who's enlightened see oneself everywhere, in a flower, in everything, in everywhere, and live in that expanded state of consciousness all the time. And there's two ways to be enlightened. One is progressive, and one can be instant. Mostly, if an enlightened being doesn't have to teach, it's instant enlightenment. It's a grace from a master. And then the one who is progressively being enlightened is going to teach and is going to be able to explain about light, about enlightenment in the brain, about the corpus callosum being enlightened, and balance both hemispheres.
And so
it's magic. Really, life on the planet right now is magical. But for that, we have to go beyond what we see. Look at the grand picture. It's phenomenal. I'm so delighted to be on the planet right now because of this transformation beyond transformation.
And so one of the things that you said was that a lot of these children are coming in as masters, and that one of the things that I resonate most with your teaching is teaching people how to be your own master.
Beautiful. Yes.
Have mastery, right? And so what does that look like? I mean, you're kind of talking about that in terms of that progressive way of becoming enlightened, but how do people achieve their own mastery?
Excellent question. So many young adults are around me, many. Some were hippie, some were drugs, some depressed, you name it. I've had all the samples of that. I teach them, so the first thing is stop blaming somebody else. The first step, become aware that you're blaming somebody else. I bring that to the awareness for them to stop blaming. The second thing is I bring them the awareness about their emotions, then their thoughts. So what's happening is their subtle bodies, the moment they become aware of these energies, their subtle bodies start to become stronger. A strong emotional body, a strong mental body, a strong spiritual body, all together. And then I do my work behind the scene with them. I clean their chakras, I clean their subtle bodies, clean their mind, their subconscious, their unconscious mind, for them to move into supra-consciousness. So I practice that, and I do give them practice for their everyday life and meditation. There's nothing greater than stillness to master emotional body and senses and the mind. So they meditate, they go into that place, and in the hall with me, I show them PowerPoint to see what a lower frequency energy does to their field. And that when their heart is free, when they don't blame anybody and their heart is free, they even for a nanosecond, their electromagnetic field start to pulsate that high vibration, and it's really rippling all over. Then now they want more of this. And they can see, even one time at darshan, they can see there is a joy in them. There is a life that they start to breathe, which is different. So they have the clear experience, and they want that more. I do journey profound healing for youth. These young adults or youth come to me, they hate their parents. The resentment, the rage, the anger, all that you can imagine what they go through. And they're lost, and they don't feel loved, and they don't feel accepted. I get them to heal themselves with their own awareness. And when they leave, after 2 days, or 2.5 days, I think, they leave, they love their parents. No more resentment. They have become a new human being. A new human being. It's marvelous, absolutely marvelous to watch that. And I make them work until there's no rage in them. None. I just don't give up. That's my style.
Beautiful. And what I just heard is the key here is self-awareness.
Let's say you tell me you love me. I'm not aware that you love me. I won't even believe in you. Or I may even doubt it. But when I'm aware, I'm open and aware of the feeling that I'm feeling, I will trust when you tell me you love me. I will trust that love. I will trust you. What I see in the teenagers and in the youth today, they don't trust anymore. They don't trust. And I take them to that place. Like I'm giving a workshop called Profound Awakening. It's about awaken the soul and be the embodiment of your soul, the incarnation of your soul on planet Earth. Some parents are there, and their children were with me last week. And then it's fantastic. I take them through that hard, I would say hard process, I think it's called, of healing. And then we take a weekend and go on a boat and play and go dancing together, have dinner together, laugh together, where they don't put me on a pedestal, you see? They can feel. And then I dress myself with jeans, with shorts, just like them, and we are together. So beautiful to see the result of the 2.5 days of profound healing. And the parents who are here were telling me how bright their daughter came back, how bright their children come back from the program.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier on the call about parents disciplining their children so that their children can trust them. And so
Yes.
I think you just tied that all together where, these kids don't have trust. And
they don't. I'll give you examples. So many will say, Mom, you told me, because I make them choose their mother and speak to their mother, and I bring the energy of their mother, and even if the mother is no more on the planet, I make them bring their and say, and they will say, Dad, you told me you'll be available to go to a football match with me, and you never came back. And then you came, you are tired, you sleep, or you're angry, and you forgot that you told me you'll take me. I don't trust you. So I have to teach them how to trust again. And I do that, and they start trusting their parents. Or Mom said you will take me to a movie because there'll be no school, and then I didn't have good grades. Now you don't want to take me to movie. This is not how we educate children. If you have given your word to go to a movie, whether they have had good grades or not, keep your word. Now, if you feel that you wish to, let's use the word punishment, which is not in my culture, but I'm saying it, you say, well, I'm disappointed. And I will not have the joy to be in a movie with you because look at your grades. So have a discussion about it, and maybe you will calm down, they will calm down, they will accept that, yes, they didn't pay attention to their study, and things will change. But just do not say, no, I'm not taking you to the movie, you had bad grades. No, because now this kid will not be able to trust you anymore, not trust your words.
Mm.
And the other thing I would like to say to parents, because all these children are now, do not fight in front of your kids. Do not scream. Do not, like what I see, I'm not from the U.S., so I learn a lot of how they live in their house. And I see also from my own inner eye how parents get angry, frustrated, and what is it called, this English word, like throw things away or scream, and the kids are scared. Yeah. They're scared. Is Dad going to kill Mom? They're scared. Do not bring this information in the brain of your children. You are not in accordance. You both find ways to have discussion apart from the kids. Even though they know and they feel, because they are your kids, they were inside of you, be aware of this. Even children that you adopt, do not scream in front of them because they get scared. Then they don't have any safety in life. There's no security. And then if you keep saying, you threat your children, oh, your father is so bad, I'm going to leave him, or your mother is not good, I'm going to leave her. This is not the business of your kids. Distinguish what's your role, distinguish your department, distinguish children department. And when you have to separate, tell them. Well, it's like you at school, sometimes you have this friend and then you don't want this friend anymore, you don't get along. Give examples. Because your children are beautiful light, a soul who has knowledge. Don't dupe them,
Yeah.
You educate with intelligence. That's all I would like to say. Educate your children with intelligence. They are beautiful souls. They are beautiful beings. And before incarnation, you have said yes to these children, that you will be their parents. They have asked you, you said yes. There's a contract there. And sometimes there is contract also with adoptive parents. And sometimes no, a soul will sneak in. That also happens. This is esoteric teaching. I will not go into esoteric part, but just the everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
It's magical. Life is absolutely magical. The passion of life, the joy of life, the blissfulness of life. It's magnificent. And the fact that each personality is so unique on planet Earth, we can create some magnificent, supreme quality of life on planet Earth.
I have a question from a participant that has to do with what we're talking about here. And she asks, how do you remain hopeful in a society that seems to not value life? There's so much violence, rape, murder all around us, not taking care of the planet. It's disheartening to see people, especially the younger generation, so desensitized to it. There seems to be less and less value placed on people's lives, and instead of helping, our society is disconnecting.
Do not confuse society and you. Oh, hello. No. Do not confuse that. You are you, society is society. Be an example for society. You see, I don't know how to function with hope. It's just not part of my consciousness. Any shift I wish to see, I take action. And I educate people around me. Yes, society lives in ignorance. Society lives in ignorance. I'll give you an example. I was giving a workshop on a resort one day, and then the participant said, "Ma, there's a big fire. It's beautiful what they are doing on the beach." Oh, I said, "Great." I came and I looked. Oh, maybe 100 people. They were all so happy. Music is loud, big fire. I had an idea, and you have been to India. You know, my ashram is in Kashi. Mm-hmm. And in India, we make what we call yagya, sacred fire. Mm-hmm. So I got an idea. Put sacred fire on the beach and do a ceremony. I tell you one thing. People were so unhappy because I did that, people who were in the beach or in the hotel, but they all accepted this group who were drinking alcohol all the time. Mm. So the society is the way it is. It's made of ignorance. Right now, the government is going to collapse. Every department is going to collapse. Economy, health, education, is all going to collapse, to be rebuilt, to be redesigned, to be remodeled. Yeah. So, do I trust society? No, but I do trust what I can do for society. I never stop serving, whether it's Uganda, whether it's South America, whether it's Africa, wherever it is, service. Give an example, be an example of what you wish to see on the planet.
Mm. And this is the ownership piece.
Ah, fantastic. You are so good. I love my interview with you, my conversation, our conversation. I love it. And also when I heard your name, I look at your consciousness and your energy, I was happy right away because I knew, due to your consciousness, you will have fantastic questions. Yep.
Thank you.
So again, society distinguish who you are. And you know, I say to all of you, stop masturbating your mind with questions that hurt you. Start to ask real questions. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Am I this body? Am I my thoughts? Am I my feelings? Am I my title? Am I my name? So that you can uplift your consciousness.
Yeah. And I love what you said there of, you know, we can get caught up in blame. You know, we were talking about blame earlier. We can blame society. We can say, oh, all these things are wrong with them out there. Or we can, and I love you said this, any truth I want to see, I take action, I take ownership, and I get that I can make a difference. And I think this is where people forget that we actually can make a change just from simply being the example ourselves.
I do not think they forget. I think they've never been educated to. Simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I come back to education. For me, everything is about education. And I say to all of you, you wish to be on a spiritual path, get knowledge, You wish to know what is spirit? Get knowledge. Because the new society are made of these young children who know about God, about light. And they are pure love, pure love. So we cannot break them. We must not. So we educate ourselves how to be with these children.
Mm. Yeah.
It's a huge responsibility to be a parent, at least from my point of view. It's a huge responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's one of my teachers is Goenka Ji. I've done Vipassana meditation, and he talks about wisdom. And there's the wisdom that we learn from knowledge of, and this is really important for us to get the information, to listen to the teachers. And then there's the experiential wisdom, right, where we start to become the master, which is what you really teach, is how do you start to embody this? How do you start to master this in your life so that it's not just in your head, it's actually embodied and it's something that you know from your experience.
Beautiful. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Listen, absorb the knowledge. You have teachers or masters around you. They have huge light. Open yourself to the light, to that pure consciousness. Imagine a master is like a fireplace and the student is a candle flame. The closer you get, the bigger will be the candle flame. And one day, this candle flame will merge with the fireplace. Mm-hmm. Imagine your soul is a river and your master or God or divinity is the ocean, this boundaryless ocean. The river is yearning to merge with the Supreme Soul. Yearning. And one day, the droplets of the river merge with the droplets of the ocean, and the grace of life, the grace of love, the grace of light means that you cannot distinguish who is who. Mm. This is mastery. For that, you start with the breath. Be aware. Be aware that there's these two energies, fear-based, love-based. And where am I right now? Stop a moment, a nanosecond. Am I in fear-based or I am in love-based? And with one breath, and I bless you all with that one breath of love, of light, of God, of divinity, it transforms you. It's instant.
So beautiful. I have the goosebumps. As we're wrapping up here on the hour, one of the things I really wanted to have us speak about, and you started our conversation talking about the Divine Mother, and that's one of the things that I'm most passionate about is feminine leadership, more women stepping into leadership, and you are a model of that in the world, especially with your title. Not many women have that. And I'd love to talk a little bit about masculine and feminine energy, if you will.
Absolutely. Yes. So, again, as I say, awareness, number one.
Yes.
Fear-based, love-based. What action do I take? How are my feelings? How are my emotions? The more I practice this, the more I'm going to be fearless, which I call fearless leadership, where you just move, you just go and be driven by it, because we need leadership. Then this is a step, fearless leadership, then soul leadership, where in a business, you start working as you realize you're a soul, and those who work with you, they're also soul. Then you start, in your culture, we speak of the heart of the shepherd, the leader as a shepherd. It's the same thing. Mm. Jesus, the shepherd. What a leader was Jesus. What a leader. the heart of the leader. A leader is to be compassionate. What do I mean by compassionate? Love with understanding. Love with understanding. In that leadership, we distinguish two things. Our love for others and our relationship with others. It is two different things. Relationship is one thing, love is one thing. You can love someone and be so compassionate, but there is not really a deep relationship with. Or in your business, you may have somebody who is not giving you satisfaction to your expectations, or because you did not clearly speak of your expectations that ought to be met, or the person is not capable. You can be very compassionate and ask the person to leave this job without judgment. A compassionate leader, a loving leader. But for that you will have to distinguish very clearly. I do love you, but my relationship with you is going to the wrong direction and I'm not satisfied. And be fearless in what you start to build as a leader. Be an entrepreneur mind. Entrepreneur. Make of your company that you start building, and I encourage all of you ladies to step up. Stop the thing that I see that many women do. They have a tendency to put men on a pedestal. Bring them down. Maybe you've done this with your father. Then you do it with your lovers and partners. But it's going to ruin your purpose in life. Bring any man you've put on a pedestal at your level. Communicate clearly. Express your expectations. And be a leader. You are a goddess. You ladies, you are a goddess. You have the power of life, the power of God inside of you as a goddess. Use it with your heart. You have the power to have a huge heart which brings peacefulness on the planet, in your surrounding. There's so much love in you. You can love the whole creation. That's the reason why women carry babies, because of the power of your love. You are mother. Without you, there's no society. You ladies, you are mothers to us. Without you, the planet won't exist. There'll be nothing here. So honor yourself. Respect yourself. Find the dignity of being a woman within you. The nobility of women. I think it may be on the website. I was invited at the residence of the Pope in Italy, and I was at the same time invited at the UN. And I gave a conference call on the nobility of women. So you all honor yourself. Be a leader. Be a leader at home. Be a leader in your everyday life. And you will be in nature also. There are leaders in nature. Look at birds, look at dolphins, look at whales. They are leaders. And then start to uplift others so they can become leaders, and you create a legacy of goddess, a legacy of the sacred feminine, full of compassion, full of heart, full of love. And in that you are fearless. From which? Soul leadership. And we work as a team, as souls, and we create vortexes, we build. And we bring this divine feminine, the sacred feminine, everywhere we go. Now, you gentlemen, please realize that you carry the divine feminine as well. Our right side of our body is masculine, our left side is feminine. The same for the brain. We bridge the masculine and feminine so we can start moving towards the androgynous. You gentlemen, the more you step into your heart, the more tender, the more powerful you will be. A powerful man is a man who is balanced with power of the masculine and love of the feminine. Both. This balance transforms the world. You become a real lover when you balance both. You don't have to please anybody. Balance. Share the love, share the light in the tenderness of your heart. This is real leadership. You are the goddess. You carry the dignity, the nobility of the goddess. Balance our masculine energy, we ladies. It's not about being feminist. It's about feminine with the balance of the masculine within us. Meaning we don't reject, we don't resent, we don't push away, we don't crush the female energy or the male energy within us as well as outside of us. For that, we need to be a leader. To be a leader, we have to take ownership of our responsibility. We're responsible to transform the world in our own way. Little, big, doesn't matter. The whole design is like a puzzle. And in a puzzle, whether it's a big piece or small piece, it's extremely important. There is no bigger or smaller role. Your role is extremely important, and mostly for next year. Next year is a big year. So let us together, in that oneness consciousness, open our heart so that love transmute the judgment, transmute the resentment, dissolve our anger, dissolve our pettiness, our puny little things, and come out of selfishness. Let us love each other fully. Let us love the children of our neighbor. Let us love everybody. Be our true nature, our authentic self. With that, I say to you with great love, with great gratitude, deep respect, I welcome you all in my heart, over and over again, as you are me and I am you. We are one. And thank you, dear love, thank you for this program, because your light, your energy, your consciousness really help all of us to uplift ourselves. Thank you. I'm so grateful to you. I'm so grateful.
Me too. And I'm excited to come and see you in person in San Diego on May 15th. Can you tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing and an invitation for people to come join us?
I will not be doing, because I don't know how to do anymore. I'll be the divinity that I am. I love you, bless you with darshan, heal the karma that's hurting you, transforming you, be in that oneness consciousness, chant together. It's all that is. And I've lived in La Jolla. I was at UCSD. I've lived in Del Mar, Solana Beach. I love it there.
Yes.
So I'm delighted to come back to San Diego.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. And for those of you listening, you can find out more information at Sai-Maa.com. That's SAI-MAA.com. And then I will also be posting the link for San Diego event, and that will be at tribal-truth.com/interviews, as well as the recording for this call. So that way you can just click on the link and come join us, because I'm really, really excited to come see you in person. Sai Maa, thank you so much.
Yes. I'm delighted I will be seeing you physically, but your energy, your signature says everything about you. I'm delighted.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for creating what you are creating for all of us, dear love.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you have a fabulous day, and we hope to see you on May 15th in person in San Diego, if you're around. If you're not in San Diego, check her website, because she speaks all over the world. So if you're not in San Diego with us right now, just go to that website and find if Sai Maa is coming to a city near you. Thank you, and namaste.
Namaste. Ashirvad. Blessings.